This lecture was created by Danny Kessler, Associate Professor at Dongso University and Korea's first PhD in wellness tourism. Look at this daytime view of Haeundae Beach. To understand the future of Busan, stop looking at it as a vacation spot. Beautiful coastlines do not automatically generate a scalable economic industry. They generate foot traffic. Relying on physical geography to sell hotel rooms and theme park tickets is an outdated model of regional development. It traps a city's economy in seasonal cycles and low-margin services. Viewing Busan strictly as a resort town obscures the reality on the ground. Beneath the surface of tourist districts, the city is executing a massive, highly structured industrial shift. Busan is re-engineering itself into a highly calibrated triple-engine recovery machine. But hardware alone cannot operate itself. Every complex machine requires an operating system to function. For Busan's regional development, that system is a specific piece of national legislation, the Wellness Tourism Promotion and Support Act. Locally, this legislation is known as the Healing Act. This specific legislation is the absolute foundational requirement. It provides the legal architecture needed to transform geographic space into a measurable, billable wellness economy. The Healing Act is the economic glue connecting the city's biological assets to clinical, financial outcomes. It executes three critical functions. First, this interface officially defines wellness tourism, unlocking massive government funding pools. Second, it creates the strict legal framework for medical wellness hybrid hubs, integrating hospitals with nature. Third, it authorizes specific geographic areas as legally protected healing districts. Standard tourism is unmeasured. It relies entirely on foot traffic and subjective experiences. This system, however, maps precise geographic zones directly to clinical standards. Without these three specific legislative pillars, urban planners have no legal authority to mandate or fund medical-grade infrastructure inside natural environments. This diagram illustrates the triple-engine architecture, the physical manifestation of the Healing Act. Engine 1 is the natural supply, located in environments like the 𝗗𝗄 sand bamboo groves. The Act validates the Fight Inside standard within these groves, legally converting organic compounds into medical assets. Engine 2 is coastal recovery, utilizing Busan's expansive shoreline infrastructure. The primary coastal intervention here is thalassotherapy, the use of seawater, marine products, and ocean climate for health benefits. By legally supporting thalassotherapy, the Healing Act turns the raw ocean shoreline into a functional blue pharmacy. These two natural engines serve as raw biological material providers. They move regional planning away from simple aesthetic appreciation and firmly into functional therapeutic utility. This brings us back to the urban core, shown here, to examine Engine 3, the medical hub. Under the Healing Act, high-tech hospitals in districts like Centum City are authorized to officially partner with the natural zones we just discussed. This legal partnership between advanced clinical centers and natural environments establishes a validated recovery pipeline. The most visible real-world example of this pipeline in action is the 𝗟 Tourism Complex. Because of the Healing Act, 𝗟 is transitioning away from standard commercial developments, like shopping centers and theme parks, to become a designated wellness zone. But here is the biological reality check. True immune system activation, such as measuring a verifiable boost in NK cells, requires a significant time investment. A quick day trip to the beach does not produce clinical results. Measuring and achieving actual biological interventions requires multi-day monitoring. Therefore, building stay-over residential infrastructure is the absolute most critical next step for Busan. Without long-term accommodation, the city cannot finalize its medical wellness pipeline or bridge the current financial gap. To consolidate how this industrialization of healing mechanism works, let's look at three core takeaways. First, the glue. The Healing Act is the ultimate legal connection between raw natural assets and the medical economy. Second, the hub. Busan is utilizing this exact law to position itself as Asia's first medical wellness hybrid hub. Third, the outcome. This entire system represents the industrialization of healing, forcing the industry past subjective experiences to deliver proven clinical results. Mastering this specific logic loop is essential for any modern professional involved in urban planning, policymaking, or regional economic survival. In modern regional development, policy is the new infrastructure. You can build a multi-billion-dollar luxury resort directly next to the most pristine forest in the country, but without an underlying legal framework to connect them to a medical system, that proximity means nothing. Without the law, developers just have a hotel with a view. With the law, they have the foundation of a clinical cluster.